Hi guys, I'm Lou, and in this video I'm going to be showing you how to start making and producing your own demos. So this is going to be video one in a series of videos on how to make your own demos, but in this video I'm going to be focusing specifically on how to start and what you're going to need. So to start making your own demos, you are going to need a few things first. Obviously you're going to need a computer, you're going to need a DAW. If you don't know what that stands for, that means Digital Audio Workstation. There are many out there. There's a couple of free ones which spring to mind, such as Audacity and Reaper. Reaper, I believe, works on a kind of a licensing system, so if you just are using it for kind of personal use, I don't think they charge you, but if you want to sell any of the music, then you'll have to buy a paid license. I'm still using Logic 9 because I'm an old man, but Logic 10's also really good. Pro Tools, Ableton Live, Cubase, they're all really excellent DAWs. Mixbus is a really good one, which is quite a new one that's come out. I've started using that quite a lot, and it's a really nice bit of software. You're also going to need an audio interface, and that's how you're going to record everything onto your computer. There's some really good audio interfaces out there. I personally like to use the RME Fireface, but there are plenty of more reasonably priced ones which are also excellent. The Focusrite interfaces are really good. TC Electronic, I think, do quite a few good ones. And lastly, you're going to need a microphone. Even if you're not a vocalist, having a microphone about is still really good in case you want to mic up a cab or whatever it is. Having a microphone around is really crucial. One microphone that I think you definitely need to get, don't just buy any old microphone, get yourself a Shure SM58. It's a really good microphone, industry standard, very simple, there's no kind of bells and whistles on it, but it will give you a good sound and it's very versatile, so you can use it for vocals or for miking up instruments. Okay, so a few things you've got to be aware of when you start recording. The number one thing is clipping, and if you don't know what clipping is, that's digital distortion. And you get this when you're recording in, and if you have the gain too high and it goes into the red, that is known as clipping. I'll show you an example of that here. Okay, hi guys, I'm back, and quickly I'm just going to show you about 3 different signals, one which you're going to want and then 2 that you're not. We're going to be having a look at this channel right here, Mic 9, and yeah, so right, I'm going to start with kind of a healthy signal. So that kind of is the signal that you want, really. It's quite hot, so you're going to get quite a decent signal, but it's not so hot that it's going into the red. And I'll just quickly show you what it looks like if it goes into the red now. That's something that you really don't want. It's going to be a total pain in the ass to mix, and it just sounds absolutely revolting. But finally, here's an equally bad signal to have, and I think this is personally as bad as clipping, and I'm just going to quickly show you that now. Even that's quite hot for what I would like to demonstrate, but that's still pretty quiet. So when you start to bring that up, you're going to get a load of hiss from the noise floor, and I'll quickly show you what that will be like right now. Okay guys, now I'm just going to show you what these 3 signals look like in the arrange window and what their waveforms look like. And this is pretty much it. So the strong signal will look something like that. You can see that it's got a pretty good signal. It's not amazingly loud, but it's loud enough, and the noise floor is quite low in comparison to it. The clip signal, you can see it's just like totally peaked out, and it just looks revolting. If anything your recording looks like that, then maybe re-record it. That's my advice. And then this is the signal that's way too quiet. You can barely even see the waveform, and the noise floor is going to be ridiculously loud when you start bringing that up. So the strong signal, I'm just going to turn this down about 22. Right, so this is what the strong signal should sound like. So that's pretty good, pretty strong. You're not going to hear like any kind of clipping or anything nasty in that. But on this next one, you will. So I'm going to turn this right down. Yeah, so if that's a bit too quiet, turn it up a bit and you'll be able to hear some of the clicking in that, and that's just, it's just terrible. Trying to mix something like that is just going to be a total waste of your life. As with this next one, if I just bring up this volume, you should be able to hear this a bit better. But yeah, like if you record any signal this low, you're going to have to really boost the volume, and that's when you're going to hear this. All that really lovely hiss and just absolute revulsion. But yeah, any of those, apart from the first one, of course, you're not going to be able to mix. That's kind of a ruined recording, and you should try and do it again. Just spend a little bit of time trying to get your gain set up properly, and it will really pay off when you get into the mixing. Otherwise, you're just making work for yourself. Particularly with editing, if you're going to be doing any strip silence or anything like that, doing it on audio like this, you're not going to be able to do it. On audio like this, it's fine because you can, because the software will be able to tell the difference if you're going to be doing it automatically between the signal and the noise floor. But that it's not going to be able to tell any difference, and it's just not going to work. Now there's a couple of different kinds of clipping. There's digital clipping and then there's analog clipping. The digital clipping that you get when you're plugging your guitar in and you've got the gain too high and it's going to the red, that's not what you want. But analog clipping, or a plugin which can replicate analog clipping, can actually add in some flavor to a specific part. And this is something that I'll go into in one of the later videos. If you're playing with distorted sounds, I highly recommend you get a noise gate. Even if your specific sound is quite sludgy and doomy, I still recommend you get one. It will make it so much more controlled. And one of the biggest problems you're going to kind of come across if you've got a lot of fuzz or a lot of distortion, and there's this massive kind of noise floor of hiss, is when you're going from that to your full sound, it's not going to be as dynamic as if you have a noise gate on there and it cuts all kind of ambient noise out. And then when you start playing, you can get this massive kind of wall of sound. There's nothing more dynamic than going from 0 to 100, but if you've got like a really hissy noise floor, that can sometimes reduce some of the dynamics. So I definitely recommend getting a noise gate, not just for recording, but also for live use as well. Okay, so for this next one, say that you've gone out to the shops and you've bought yourself a nice Line 6 Spider 5, and you're bringing it back home and you're getting ready to mic it up with your SM58. Stop. Don't do that. If you don't have gear which is really good enough to start recording with, I highly recommend that you have a look at some of the free VST plugins that are on the internet. There's some great guitar amp plugins that you can get. Specifically, I would say Lapel. They do a couple of really great ones, and also Ignite Amps. Ignite Amps do a great one. I think it's the Emissary, which is totally free. You are going to need some kind of cab simulators, but these are quite easy to get hold of. Ignite Amps do one themselves, and I also think Lapel does one as well. Next thing I'd say is playing tight. It's kind of a necessity when you're recording. Live, it doesn't really matter if you're a little bit sloppy, but in the studio you do really need to be really tight, so I'd recommend playing to a metronome as often as possible, because the moment you play something a bit loose, you're going to hear it and it's going to annoy you forever. You're not going to be able to escape from that hell. The next thing is, when you're recording bass, if you're recording through a bass amp, check that it's got a DI8. If you're recording bass, check that it's got a DI out. If it does, take that and plug that into your interface and then mic up the bass amp. If not, just record your bass direct into the interface. I found that DI bass gives you a really nice solid bottom end, whereas if you're recording through a bass amp, it can start to get a bit muddy. But with the bass DI, you can get a really round, solid bottom end. I highly recommend that you use this and blend this with the bass amp sound. Alright, lastly, but definitely not least, double tracking. When you start recording guitars, make sure that you double track. And if you don't know what this means, what it means is track your same part twice, because this will make your guitar parts sound big. If you want your guitar parts to sound big, track them multiple times. Even quad track them if necessary, and you can do different things with it. You can record through different amps for each of the takes, but it has to be the same part. And this will just help create this really kind of thick stereo sound, particularly when you start hard panning it. So yeah, this has been the video. Thanks for watching, guys. If you enjoyed, please like and subscribe. In the next video, I'm going to be covering some more software stuff, what to do once your tracks are all recorded and in the arrange window, and how to start doing some basic gain staging and some basic leveling. If you want more guitar-based videos, my video last week was on alternate picking patterns. You can go and check that out. If you want to check out my music, you can check it out at derelictdream.com. I'll also leave a link to my composer page. If you have any recommendations for future videos for me to do, please let me know in the comments below. Once again, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.